Deep in southeast Texas lies one of the wildest places in the United States, the thick, tangled wilderness of the Big Thicket National Preserve. Locals often say the forest there feels ancient, older than the rest of Texas. The trees grow twisted and tall, vines choke the trails, and the air is so heavy with humidity that even sound seems to move slowly. For decades, hunters, oil workers, and hikers have whispered about something else moving through those woods. Something big. Something that walks on two legs. In the fall of 2003, a man named Dale Whitaker drove his old pickup down a sandy logging road just outside the preserve. Dale had lived in the Silsbee area most of his life and knew these woods better than almost anyone. He wasn't looking for anything strange that evening, just signs of wild hogs that were tearing up land nearby. With permission from a rancher, he was there to hunt. The sun was dropping low as he parked near a stand of tall pines. The woods were quiet, a little too quiet, he thought, but that wasn't unusual for dusk. He grabbed his rifle, stepped into the trees, and followed a faint trail deeper into the brush. About 20 minutes in, Dale noticed something odd. A smell. It wasn't the normal swampy smell of mud and rot. This was worse. It was like wet animal fur mixed with something sour. Almost like a creature that had been living out there for a very long time without ever being clean. Dale wrinkled his nose and muttered to himself, "Probably just a dead hog." He kept walking. That's when he heard the first knock. The sound echoed through the trees like someone hitting a baseball bat against a hollow log. Dale froze. He waited, then it happened again. Hunters in East Texas know that sound. People call it wood knocking, and some believe it's used by Bigfoot creatures to communicate across long distances. Dale didn't believe in that stuff, at least not yet. He slowly began moving toward the sound. The forest grew thicker the deeper he went. Cypress knees stuck up from the muddy ground, and vines brushed against his shoulders. The foul smell returned, much stronger this time. And then something moved. At first, Dale thought it was a black bear, but bears don't stand 7 feet tall. About 50 yards ahead, something stepped out from behind a cluster of yaupon bushes. Dale later said the first thing he noticed was the shoulders. They were massive, wider than any man he'd ever seen. The creature was covered in dark brown hair that looked almost black in the fading light. Its arms hung low, longer than a normal human's, and its chest was built like a barrel. The thing turned its head. Even at that distance, Dale could see its eyes. They reflected the dying sunlight in a dull, amber glow. For a long moment, neither of them moved. The creature just seemed to study him. Then, it let out a deep, rumbling whoop that rolled through the forest like thunder. Dale felt the vibration in his chest. His instincts screamed one thing: leave. But before he could move, another shape stepped out from the trees behind the first one. Then a third. 3 of them. The largest one took a step forward, and the ground actually thumped under its weight. Dale slowly raised his rifle not to shoot, but just to feel like he had some control over the situation. That was apparently the wrong move. The big one slammed a thick tree branch against a pine trunk. Crack! The sound exploded through the woods. One of the smaller ones began pacing back and forth, swinging its long arms in aggressive movements. Dale had a terrifying realization. He wasn't just looking at one animal, he was looking at a group. A family, maybe. And they were warning him. He slowly lowered his rifle and began backing away. Step by step, the creatures followed. They weren't charging, just walking, escorting him out. Branches snapped behind them as they moved. One of them shook a small tree so hard that leaves rained down to the ground. The message was crystal clear: you do not belong here. Dale backed up for nearly 200 yards before the creatures finally stopped at the edge of the thicket. The largest one let out another long, mournful howl that echoed across the swamp. Then they melted back into the trees. Just like that, they were gone. Dale didn't run. He said he walked as calmly as he could back to his truck. But the moment he slammed the door and turned the key, he floored it out of there. Later that night, he told a few friends what happened. Most of them laughed it off, but one old hunter just nodded quietly. Then he said something Dale never forgot. Those woods been hiding things long before we ever got here. Over the years, other strange reports have come from the Big Thicket. Massive footprints found near creeks, eerie howls in the middle of the night, and that same horrible smell drifting through the trees. Some call it folklore. Others say it's just misidentified animals. But the people who have seen something out there, they all describe the same thing. Huge, hairy, walking upright. and watching from the shadows. Because deep in those Texas woods, sometimes the forest is watching you,